Today I wanted to show you guys how to embroider a simple heart. I had a request for that. And it's sort of like a lazy daisy in the way that it's stitched, and you'll see what I mean as we go. But let's get started on that. I've got 3 strands of thread here, and I have a knot tied at the end of my thread to secure it. You can draw the heart on your fabric first if you want, but I, when I draw them, tend to draw them a little wider than I embroider them, so I like to just kind of freehand it. So bring the needle up at where the base of your heart is going to be, up through the back. Make sure that you've got that knot that's secure. And then we're gonna go up. You wanna make small hearts. These can't be too big. So I'm gonna go up about that far. And so I'm at almost a ½ inch, not quite. So you just make them not much bigger than that. You can make them smaller if you want. Okay, I'm bringing my needle down at that point along the same line. And then I'm gonna leave a loop at the top of my fabric. Now I'm gonna go from this point here, kind of at an angle up and to the right, and bring my needle up through the loop. That way the thread that I'm bringing up catches on the loop. So you can see it's kind of a sharp angle there. I like to just kind of, don't pull it so tight if you're getting that sharp of an angle. So you can kind of loosen that up a little bit and only pull until it's about the shape of a heart that you want it to be. So then, just like a lazy daisy, you're just gonna go slightly away from the spot that your thread is currently coming out of and over this thread here to secure it. So we're securing the thread that's just kind of laying there on top of our work. And then bring that down. And then a little tug to make sure it's secure, but not too much. So then that should give you the basic shape of one side of your heart. Now to make the other side, we're gonna repeat the process. So be careful for that knot that's in the back. I kind of will push it to the side. That's why it's kind of nice sometimes to not start your work with a knot so that doesn't get in the way. But we're gonna bring it up in the exact same spot that we came up in to start the base of that heart. And then bring it down in the same spot in the middle right there that we did before. Leave that loop on top, and then you want to make sure that this side is even with this side over here. So do your best, if you haven't drawn it, to find that spot and pull that up. I'm gonna loosen that up a little bit because I don't like the angle that it's coming in at. And then do that same small little tacking stitch that you did for the other side. And then you can kind of play around with it a little bit. It's not the most like stable stitch, especially since I did it a little bit looser. So any little tugs that you can do will kind of shape it, but then also the opposite is true, that if you tug on it in the wrong way, it can distort the stitch. So let me just show you one more time how to do it. Up at the base of where we want the heart, go up, leave a loop, go up at an angle from here, up to the right, pull that through, and only to a point where it makes the shape that you want it to be, and then one tiny little tacking stitch to hold the heart in place. And then back up at the bottom. Then down through the top. Make sure you're coming up in a spot that's even with the previous side that you did, and make sure you're coming through that loop there. Loosen it if you need to make it the shape that you want it to be. And then tiny little tack stitch down to hold that in place. So there we've got 2 cute little hearts. Now, if you wanted to get fancy and do like a chain of hearts together, that also gives a really cute effect. So what you would do then is once you finish the first heart, come up in that middle spot there, and this is going to be the bottom of your next heart. So try to make it about the same size, and you can draw like 3 lines as your guide to help you if you are trying to stay on a straight line. That would make this a lot easier. Come up on the right. So not the most beautiful example. This one got a little bit too big, but that would be why it would be helpful to draw some guidelines. But you can make a whole cute chain of hearts to go along the edge of something, or it gives just a really cute effect. But you get the basic idea. And then I went ahead and stitched one more little heart just so you can see the difference between like the super tall heart, the medium heart, and the little heart. I think I actually like the way that it looks better when it is tiny. I think, let's see how big that one is. Yeah, we're at barely 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of that one to the stitch going up right here in the middle. So I hope this was a helpful and fun tutorial. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else. I thought this would be a fun one to do since it is February and we have Valentine's Day coming up. So I hope you guys all have a great Valentine's Day and have fun stitching some little hearts.